The new Sony BRAVIA 8 Mark II QD-OLED is rated to be 25% brighter than the award-winning A95L. But what does that actually mean in real-world terms? Well, last month, I had the rare opportunity to spend an hour at Sony Europe's headquarters, where I was allowed to conduct a side-by-side comparison between an early sample of a 65-inch BRAVIA 8 Mark II and a 65-inch Sony A95L, benchmarked against a Sony BVM-HX3110 reference monitor, which is capable of hitting 4000 nits on a 10% window at D65 white point. Let me show you some HDR footage I captured, which is best watched on a compatible HDR display. In this classic scene from the 4K Blu-ray of Pan, the increased light output of the Sony BRAVIA 8 Mark II allowed the QD-OLED panel to render the sun and surrounding clouds with greater brightness and clarity than the A95L, hence coming closer to matching the HDR presentation on the Sony HX3110 mastering monitor. In another sequence from the same film, which had been graded to 4000 nits, the sun in the background appeared noticeably brighter on the Sony BRAVIA 8 Mark II compared to the A95L, though unsurprisingly, the BVM-HX3110 was still way out in front. Next, I'm going to show you a couple more clips from Pan, where the BRAVIA 8 Mark II came closer to reproducing the creative intent, particularly in snippets where the sun reached 4000 nits. Keep an eye on how it handles these highlights compared to the A95L. Thanks to not using white subpixels, one of the key advantages of QD-OLED is the absence of near-black chrominance overshoot or flashing artifacts in dark scenes, as demonstrated in this slow panning shot from Pan. Please excuse the reflections visible in this footage. I spent a good 15 minutes of my allocated hour trying to switch off all the mood lighting in the room, but there was still some light coming through the entrance door, which ended up reflecting on the screens. Nevertheless, hopefully you can still appreciate that in terms of shadow detail, the BRAVIA 8 Mark II sample provided a closer match to the HX3110 mastering monitor compared to this particular A95L unit, whose near-black luminance appeared slightly elevated above reference. I'm going to play through a few more low-light scenes that I managed to run on both Sony QD-OLEDs during the limited time I had. Otherwise, it's worth noting that unlike the step-down BRAVIA 8W OLED, the BRAVIA 8 Mark II QD-OLED model offers a smooth gradation decontouring filter in the picture menu. That said, as with most Sony TVs, native temperature gradation was already very good, so much so that there's typically no need to enable smooth gradation when watching pristine HDR content. Now, if you can't decide on which Sony QD-OLED to buy, one place where you can get good advice is at Richer Sounds, a trusted British AV retailer with more than 50 stores in the UK, who provides 6 years warranty on the vast majority of TVs if you join the company's VIP club. You will get the best deals through cheaper VIP exclusive in-store only prices, complimentary gifts or freebies, so go visit your local Richer Sounds store or call telesales for your next TV purchase. Thanks again for your support. Okay, to find out more details about the Sony BRAVIA 8 Mark II, such as the number of HDMI 2.1 ports, please watch our coverage video by clicking here.